I'm in a wheelchair and I use generative AI to make these stupid videos of me falling out of my chair doing everyday shit. Like doing laundry, making coffee. And apparently that makes me the enemy of real art right now. So let me ask all you AI haters out there. Do you want me to actually fall and break my fucking shoulder for the joke instead of using AI? Because it looks like that's where we're at right now. Apparently the integrity of filmmaking rests on whether or not my actual ass hits the kitchen floor. Good to know. Alright, let's just get that out of the way. Now, who the hell am I to talk about this? Look, I'm not a filmmaker, alright? I'm not here to pretend that I am. I'm not an artist. If you're new here, I'm Chris. I'm 53. I'm in a wheelchair and I make dumb little videos on the internet that, let's be honest, basically nobody watches. My last two videos did like 100 views. So, yeah. I'm not exactly the guy that the film bros are worried about stealing their jobs. If you're new here and that kind of dumb, honest, over 40, figure it out as we go energy is your thing, hit subscribe, alright? Not because I'm going to beg you to, but because YouTube sure as hell isn't pushing my stuff unless you tell it to. And maybe that's actually important here, because I don't have a production company. I don't have 12 people standing behind a camera waiting for everybody to get a shot right. I'm not making an independent film. I'm a guy sitting in a room trying to make something entertaining every week for people that have been through or are going through what I've been through. And yeah, sometimes that means typing a bunch of ridiculous shit into an AI generator until I get a clip of myself launching out of a wheelchair while trying to make a cup of coffee. Alright, this isn't exactly the fall of Western civilization. I liked your video, but it had too much AI slop in it. Yeah, dude, my videos average 10 minutes and I have like 40 seconds of AI in them. Would you please just shut the fuck up? Now let's talk about why I'm actually making this video, because it's 4 a.m. and I'm fucking tired. What I've seen this week aggravated the shit out of me. First of all, I was disgusted by what happened to Maddie Hoopoya when that Higgsfield thing came out. And look, I'm not here to trash or defend Higgsfield. I'm not here to tell you that Maddie is a genius. To be honest, he's just not my cup of tea. But that's the point. I don't need to like somebody's videos to think that the way people treated him was absolutely and completely fucked. What bothered me was watching this so-called filmmaking community, the one that always preaches creativity and community and, hey man, we're all artists. They just turned around and tried to bully a guy off the internet for trying a new tool. This guy got threats. He got pile-ons trying to get him canceled. I saw comments going after his family. That's not protecting art, guys. That's just being a bully with a dude who made the most out of an opportunity. You want to criticize the sponsorship? Fine. That's called having an opinion. I get that. But there's this weird point where I don't like what you're doing becomes you shouldn't be allowed to do it. And that's bullshit entitled cancel culture rearing its ugly head again. And it made me realize something. Most of these people yelling the loudest about generative AI, they're under 30. They've never had a tool actually replace them before. I kept thinking, where the hell were all these defenders of art when that happened to everybody else? Because all the other jobs were just making the world run, right? Those jobs had nothing to do with real art. Technology has been chewing through industries for my entire fucking life. There were people who spent their whole careers developing film. Entire jobs that one piece of software started doing faster. And guess what, guys? Nobody stopped the clock. Nobody said, hang on, everybody. Logan's gotten really good at this, so we're just going to freeze technology right here. No, Logan got fucking fired. The world moved on. Sometimes that sucked. Sometimes it created completely new jobs. Usually it did both. Now let's talk about something that actually matters to me. 90% of my dumb, funny videos are me falling out of my wheelchair doing some normal, everyday thing. That's the joke. What are these people actually saying I should do? These staunch defenders of real art. That I should really throw myself out of my chair onto the kitchen floor and just hope that I don't break my fucking shoulder or crack my head open? Just to get a laugh? Just so it's authentic? Come on. If I have a tool where I could make that joke and make somebody laugh without putting myself in the ER, yeah, I'm going to use it. Every single time, I'm going to use it. And honestly, it sounds pretty fucking ableist to you to tell me that I shouldn't. But more importantly, in my opinion, the jokes actually land. They make people laugh. If somebody who just lost a leg or somebody who's paralyzed and having the worst week of their life sees one of my dumb AI videos and forgets about their problem for 5 seconds and smiles or laughs a little bit, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what some fucking film kid on TikTok thinks about my fucking art. And that's where this stops being some philosophical argument for me. This is practical. There are things that would be incredibly stupid for me to attempt just because I want 5 seconds of footage. Generative AI gives me another option. That's it. I'm not trying to replace Roger Deakins. I'm trying to make a dick and fart joke equivalent of a fucking wheelchair joke. And somehow we've managed to put those two things into the same conversation. Now, let's talk about the whole it's stealing thing for a second. I've been alive long enough to know that every artist on the fucking planet steals something. You think Kevin Smith makes Clerks without being obsessed with Richard Linklater's Slacker? He would tell you himself that he was totally inspired by it. Inspiration versus copying has always been a line. AI didn't invent that debate. It just made it louder. Should Kevin Smith pay Richard Linklater every time he cashes a Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back check? And don't fucking tell me looking at 1,000 photos to learn a style is stealing while looking at 1,000 photos in art school isn't. And before somebody starts typing on a keyboard like a little fucking rat, I'm not saying there aren't legitimate questions here. That things like copyright, consent, and permission matter. I'm not saying we throw all that shit out because technology got cool. I'm saying that the conversation is more complicated than AI bad, because apparently Nuance got canceled sometime around 2022. Then there's the jobs thing. And look, I get it. It's scary. Technology evolving and costing people jobs, it is scary. But my question is just, you remember when digital cameras came out and you could print your photos at home? You remember how many photo developing shops closed? Where was this protest then? Technology evolves, man. You either evolve with it or you get left behind. And why the hell does it take a 53-year-old guy in a wheelchair to tell a bunch of 25-year-olds that? That's what happens when you think the world is going to pause for you. And here's the shitty truth nobody wants to hear. Being really good at something does not guarantee that the world will always need that thing done the same way. I spent enough of my life watching technology change to know that. Sure, you could hate it, you could fight it and bitch about it, but pretending it's gonna go away because a bunch of people left angry comments under a YouTube video isn't a strategy to stop it. And the last argument they have is the environment. Now, alright, I'm gonna be honest. That's the only one I think is a real conversation. Data centers use a lot of power and a lot of water. Alright, I hear that. But I'm not gonna pretend that that's why most of you guys are mad. You're mad because you're scared that your skill isn't special anymore. Alright, just say that. Because at least then we're having an actual conversation. If you spent 10 years becoming incredible at something and suddenly software comes along that could do part of it in 30 seconds, yeah, that's terrifying. Alright, I'd be terrified and pissed off too. I've been terrified and pissed off. But you know what? That never made the tool disappear. So do I recommend using generative AI? Yeah, I do. Alright, it's not perfect. It's not going to make you George fucking Lucas overnight. But because it's something that makes you more likely to put an idea into the world. It's something that, in my case, keeps me safe while still getting to be funny. Alright, it's worth it. Use it like a tool. That's how I look at it. I don't open Premiere and expect it to come up with my joke. I still have to have the stupid idea in the first place. I still have to put my name on it. The tool changed. The responsibility then, I'm not a filmmaker. I don't care what real artists think about my dumb wheelchair videos. I care if it makes one person who's going through what I've been through laugh for a second. And I'll do that all the time, every time. That's the difference between art that you talk about and art that you actually make. Because you know what I think is worse than using AI to make something? Making nothing. Sitting there protecting some imaginary purity test while everybody else is out there experimenting, screwing things up, finding new ways to tell stories, and actually putting shit out into the world. I'll take the person making weird shit every time, even if some of it sucks, especially if some of it sucks. At least they're doing something. I don't care what tool they're using. All right, I'm done vomiting out the mouth at 5 a.m. in the morning. If this video hits you at all or pisses you off, hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me why I'm wrong. All right, I could take it. I've been arguing on the internet since you guys were giving your first participation trophies. And if you want to tell me that generative AI art isn't real art, that's fine too. I don't care. Just know that while you're typing that comment, I'm probably somewhere generating another video of myself falling out of my wheelchair into a toilet. And I'm probably going to laugh at it. Till next time, guys. Stay loud, stay a little bit reckless, and go out and make something. See you next week.